To all the fellas out there, maintain. That's key word right now, maintain. Now, what does the infamous astrologist mean by maintain? Let me explain. As I prophesied already 2 years ago, that we would be right here where we are today, at the turning point of women's abuse of power through feminism and the great dismantling of feminism. I've been talking about this through YouTube for more than a year. I've been making predictions about it for more than 2 years. And here it is. The turning point has manifested. Understand. It's a good time right now. Light your cigar, lay back, and let's relate. So, what we have to maintain is what we were taught. What did you learn? What did God teach you as you were passing through the storm, the plague of feminism? What did you learn? What did you observe? If you had wisdom, you could have removed yourself from harmful situations, chaos, confusion, implications, drama, by bowing out of entertaining most American females who are under that spell of feminism. Many men naturally found themselves outside of the playing fields of the sexual market, dating, as standards went beyond realistic ideals with females in America. The arrogance and the narcissism that plagued their minds as they all were in competition with each other, and secret envy with every man, lusting for his destiny on the earth. God designed you for the 10th house and the 11th house. That's why your feet are bigger. That's why your image and your demeanor is carved in stone. That's why testosterone guides your steps. You built the infrastructure of the entire world. You made it comfortable enough for females to sit in it and complain, talk shit, challenge their capabilities to meet or succeed yours, exceed yours. You built this world. You laid the roadways for every car to drive. You built the cars that drive on them. It's you who pulled to 12 to 16-hour shifts at the power plants, where there is hard work, unspeakable danger in these environments. You're the one who drives through the snow, the rain, the storms, after natural catastrophes, or whatever the case may be, to restore the power lines, putting out fires, chasing down criminals, digging holes in ditches, pipe fitting, and everything else. She envied you, and she even found her way into your world, pretending like it's something natural for her. But God designed you to be that one, to be that person. God designed you to meet the dangers of the elements of nature and have it to submit to your will, so that women and children are safe. There's an order in our world that you, man, set in place. Infrastructure, laws, rules, and the strength to enforce it. She still complains. She still talks her shit. She still thinks she could be you. She envies you. Remember who you are. Remember who you are. Regardless of her behaviors, it's still our duty to show up when it's time to protect, provide, teach, bring infrastructure, enforce what is right, protect what is true. We represent the forces of Saturn. When we are focused, the pleasure may go away. The fun may go away. But we're built for that. It's our nature. And we understand it's the only way to be productive, to be competitive, doing what most would not dare do. Look how discipline makes you beautiful. Discipline lowers your body fat percentage, sharpens your mind, toughens your spirit, gives you grit, a competitive edge, wisdom, integrity, character, a name for yourself, a reputation, notoriety, eventually wealth, stability, success, fame. You're remarkable. Listen to me. Because feminism is fallen, you should know what's coming. The infamous astrologist warns you of what's coming. Venus just passed his conjunction with Chiron out of Aries. And when she gets in Taurus, she's going to be looking for stability. Listen to me. When Venus gets into Taurus, she's going to be looking for stability. She's going to be looking for resources. She's going to be looking for comfort. Are you listening? The Trump administration has not only initiated but succeeded with dismantling every 2x4 screw, bolt, and beam that upheld the infrastructure of feminism. The number one target was the African American woman, especially the single African American female. You may be a white guy, you may be Hispanic, Asian. It doesn't make a difference. You're a man. But point said, the African American female she is the sign of where women are headed. She is the great hero of feminism, the symbol of feminism, the one who gives the marching orders, the demonstration of how it is to be done, in what tone, what attitude, what delivery, what behavior, what body language, what ad-libs, hand gestures. What words to choose and how to pitch the words, facial expressions. Everything comes from the African American female and how all females express feminism and hatred of men. That's where they get it from. They learn it from her. It was a white woman's idea, but it was a black woman who dared to put it into full practice. And she lost everything behind it. She even lost herself. Your wives secretly envy what she dares to do, but they might not be foolish enough to do it, to lose everything as she's lost everything. Your sisters, your daughters, American females, they're influenced by her. When they see the big hero, the captain of feminism, falling from grace by the stroke of Donald Trump's pen, when they see her by the crowds leaving the plantation, expelled from the illusion of heaven for themselves, woman power, turn-up culture, twerk fest, hot girl summer, I don't need no man, I'm independent, I'm getting to the bag, you broke, you dusty, so on and so forth. They have been in an illusion of their own heaven, and now they are expelled from the garden. This is a repeat of a story we all know. Adam and Eve. They were in the garden. And she got herself expelled. She got her husband expelled. for the same reasons. I warn you because God didn't ask for Eve after the crisis in the garden where she betrayed herself, she betrayed God, and she betrayed her husband. God said, Adam, where art thou? He said, Adam, where art thou? You are Adam. You should be warned and you should be careful. As she falls from grace, the layoffs, massive layoffs for African American females. And you may think that because maybe you entertain white girls or maybe you entertain Asian or Hispanic, I'm telling you now, it doesn't make a difference. Every Western woman is influenced by the African American woman. She is the great hope that there is possibility that I can test the limits of freedom, that I can still test the limits of rebellion, that it's still possible that I can compete with man, or through my envy, I can even overthrow him. She is what keeps that hope alive, because she's the only one who puts her whole entire soul into proving that point. Are you listening? So as long as she is in that spirit, every woman is watching deep within themselves, lusting to do the same. There will always be exceptions. So where I'm getting at is that these layoffs are going to have a domino effect. It manifested Chiron conjunct Venus. Follow me. That is a turning point, which indicates she's up for healing. Healing is still painful. Healing doesn't begin until the truth arrives. Do you understand? Healing cannot take place without disillusionment first, and the acceptance of truth first. Then there's the cognitive dissonance, the anger, the resentment, the rebellion, the outbursts. There are many steps to take. But I warn you, do not go blind in what's taking place. Focus. What does this have to do with you? You see, Venus, which is, in particular, those females who hold the feminist spirit in them, the liberal spirit within them, the left, they go where Venus goes. And if Venus is headed into Taurus, once it gets past that 0 degree, it's going to be seeking for Taurus algorithm. And what is Taurus algorithm? Where is their stability? Where is their resources? Where is the money? Where is the comfort? Where is the quality lifestyle? Where is that which I can consume? All of these things are Taurus. Are you listening? The infamous astrologist warns you. With all of these job losses, layoffs, eventually the severance packages will be all spent. The savings will be all spent. The car notes are still due, and they have a hefty taste for luxury. The car insurance will soon be due. The mortgage payment, the rent, paying for childcare, which can cost more than all of that combined. Health insurance, groceries. Donald Trump wrote away EBT, SNAP benefits, Section 8, affirmative action, DEI. There's no more handouts. There's no more cheating the system. There's no more entitlement to resources. What you hear me emphasizing in my voice is not that someone was done wrong, but it's the point that what is manifesting for all of us through these transits is self-determination, dignity, and that cannot happen when there are handouts, entitlements to resources, and the enablement of laziness, manipulation, entitlement, and poverty mindsets. So these things had to manifest to carry out that meaning. And as I told you all for the past 2 years, it's about women. This is not a reality that's changing your world. It's changing their world. As men, you never got handouts. You couldn't get the SNAP benefits in EBT. There are always exceptions. You couldn't get Section 8 housing and pay $50 or $100 for rent. You couldn't get vouchers for childcare and all these different things. There are no special privileges for men in this society. None of this will be felt by you. It's entirely about females, the adjustment and transformation of females. But because they are being adjusted and transformed, that part is what has to do with you, is the fact that they are about to be changed, educated, karmically, healed, cured. A restoration of the image of woman. And that part has a direct effect on you. God calls you, man, his own glory. And he called woman your glory. Your glory is being adjusted by the Most High. Understand? So, with all these things missing, there's no safety nets, no handrails. I know you are tired of me saying this. Please hear me out. There's going to be a spirit of desperation for some. Panic, impulsiveness, predatory strategic thinking, opportunists on the rise. And they're looking for Taurus. Where is Taurus? I want you to look at this picture I put up here. Maintain. You're looking at Taurus with a little bit of Scorpio. You see the cigar? It's Taurus. It's a tree of relaxation, meditation, quiet of mind, for the taste of sophisticated men. I love cigars. You see the wine. You see the watch. And you also see the stability of the ring. He's married. You see the suit. You see the low body fat percentage in this disciplined, strong man in this image. You're looking at Taurus. You see that a man has obviously created some stability for himself. He's manifested that image. At least in his image it does. Okay? That's what it's representing. A man who has luxury, which is excess of need, having more than one option, is abundance. Having what you want is luxury. Never forget that. Never forget. But this is what Venus is going to be looking for. Taurus. Because they no longer are going to have the power so easily to create stability for themselves, comfort for themselves, luxury for themselves, and they have a ferocious appetite for consumption. They have a ferocious appetite for luxurious experiences, status symbols. And they're going to want to maintain that. They're not going to want to give it up. Car repossessions are very soon. After 3 months, they're coming to look for that car if you haven't paid for it. After 3 months, eviction notices are coming out if you haven't paid for it. Insurance lapses, understand? Groceries. Imagine the cost to maintain the lifestyles of some of these females who proclaim to the public every day, I need a 6-figure man. He better have 6 figures. He better be 6 feet tall and have 6 figures. He better be making $400,000 a year. Yeah. Oh, you think the infamous astrologist is exaggerating? Do you really? Yeah. That's what they want. That's what they feel they're entitled to. Ferocious appetite for the experiences of life. That is Taurus. When Venus goes into Taurus, it empowers. It accelerates the Taurus expression. It makes it more realized. What makes you more realized of your appetite than when you lose your job? You lose your way to make money. How am I going to keep this up? Well, what do you think is going to happen? These attractive women, expensive wigs, lashes, nails, business suits and attire, sophisticated beauty, luxurious brands of European style and names, high fashion, big expensive vehicles, gated community living. Huh? It costs a lot of money to keep that up. Do you understand where the infamous astrologist is getting at? As they fall from grace, 3 months in, 3 months is when there's a reaction, a consequence to late payments, non-payment, delinquent payments. The credit scores begin to drop. You lose access to certain heights of luxury and status. They are going to be violently fighting to maintain it, to keep it. They will do anything than suffer the image of defeat. They will do anything because they live their entire lives constructing an image, an ideal that they want everyone to believe of them being successful, luxurious, valuable, sophisticated, inaccessible, dwelling in the heights, but they're falling from grace. And the greatest tragedy that can happen for their ego is that it all be exposed, that they lose the ability to maintain that personification. Who do you think they're going to come for to keep it? Look at you, man. You were born for the elements. You can sleep on the grass. You can sleep on concrete. You can have a peace of mind in a concrete cell. A minimalist lifestyle. It brings no pain to your body. You find peace in it. Work, the gym, protein diet, and you're in heaven with your video game set or your tools, your cigars, whatever. It doesn't take much for us. White t-shirt, nice pair of jeans, hit the town. It doesn't take much for us. She's different. The Venus archetype female, okay? I'm not talking about the mature women out there. No. I'm not talking about the mature women out there. God bless you. I'm talking about the Venus archetypes. They're the best looking women in the world. They're very attractive. They're youthful. They got it going on. Personality. All of that. Yeah. You know who I'm talking about. They inspire lust in one glance. You know who I'm talking about. They're gonna be falling from heaven. The illusion of heaven. And as they fall, Venus is going to be looking for Taurus manifestation. She is going to be attempting to attract Taurus themes. Don't you know that that includes you? Venus is a magnet. She attracts, but she doesn't create. She's going to get you to do it. Yeah. You can afford it. Spend a little of that money. Huh? You going to let them take my car back and repossess it? What kind of man are you? You going to let me get put out? An eviction? What kind of man are you? You're not going to buy me groceries and my kids groceries? What kind of man are you? You don't want to afford me the lifestyle that I'm used to? You don't think I'm worth it? What kind of man are you? Have you learned yet? Through the South Node Libra, since that time, have you learned not to be the dummy to let someone coerce you, manipulate you, brainwash you, guilt trip you, trick you out of your own peace, trick you out of your contentment, trick you out of your success, trick you out of your victory, trick you out of your status, trick you out of your strength. God says, give not thy strength to a woman. Do you understand that? I'm not talking about wives here. Unless you Travis Hunter. That nigga is slow. Don't be a Travis Hunter. But if you got a wife, it's a little different than that. Because you ain't got no business catching none of these broads that's falling from the illusion of heaven. You maintain the focus with your wife. Understand? Let apply what applies, But anyway, as the falling from grace, Taurus is going to be the preoccupation. But Venus has to attract what it wants to experience. Mars creates it through willpower. You are the archetype of Mars. When you are refined, you are the archetype of Jupiter as a husband and Saturn as a disciplined man. Understand that. Don't blow it. Maintain. You have to know what is your responsibility. What is your duty? And you have to know it apart from hers. You have to know what is your karma and what is her karma. And you have to be very careful not to inherit the karma of another person. What is your problem and what is her problem? What is for her to figure out and what is for you to figure out? What are you responsible for and what is she responsible for? You better make your mind up today. Because it's coming. She will be beautiful. She will be attractive. She will be alluring. Her perfume, her words, so perfectly spoken. The feminine spell and witchcraft rocking your ass to sleep. Don't be a dumb nigga. Don't be slow. Don't be a Captain Save a hoe ass nigga. Don't play yourself, B. Don't play yourself. You heard? Don't play yourself. Maintain. Maintain your focus. Your formula. Your formula to success. I know it's very simple. Yeah. Maintain that simplicity. Because when they come into your life, these type of females, they bring chaos, complication, distraction, noise, burdens, bills, debt, regrets. Respect yourself. God took you away from that sexual market for a reason. The only niggas that was out here still qualified to be fucking these bitches. The Pookies, the Ray Rays as usual. They will never go out of style. And those who got a nice big bag, all right? The big boy pants. Big money. They all fucking the same 3 niggas in every community. Why you think the STI or STD rates keep skyrocketing down there in Houston and many other places, specifically with black women, not black men? Why you think that is? The same niggas is fucking all the bitches. Yeah. And you wasn't one of them, most likely. This is the first generation where majority of males are sexless. They not even fucking. Yeah. I was born in the 80s. That's unheard of. Because the new standard is according to the delusional feminist ideal. Oh, you got to be making 6 figures. You got to be 6 feet tall. You got to be Mr. Perfect, perfect. And they all share the same few men. But now that they're falling from grace, they're going to start tossing all of this weight so they can float. The weight of delusional ideals and delusional standards. Reality checks is going to be rolling in because the power of disillusionment is grasping them by the forelock and flinging them down to the earth. The simps are going to be rubbing their hands, full of joy and excitement, running headlong into karma. But should that be you? Should you do that to yourself? You know what Jupiter means going in Cancer if you've been following this channel. Don't play yourself, B. Jupiter in a natal chart, that indicates a husband, okay? In some context. The husband traveling through Cancer. This shows that the focus of society is going to turn to honoring husbands, valuing husbands, appreciating husbands, lusting for a husband, desiring a husband. Why? Because that good old man's strength is suddenly realized as something that every woman needs. Their memory is suddenly refreshed. The illusion is over, the game is over, and now they've come to their senses. The stability of a husband, the strength of a husband, the wisdom of a husband, the love of a husband, the covering of a husband, the accountability of a husband, the discipline of a husband, the character of a husband, the courage of a husband, the love of a husband, the care of a husband. Yeah. They're going to start singing a different song. And all of a sudden, they're going to want to get married. They're going to want to do right. They're going to want to live right. They're going to want to change themselves around, talk different, dress different, walk different, look different. They're going to take the weaves and the lashes out. As before, they pretended like they couldn't hear the complaints. Don't be fooled. Don't be misled. Don't be fucking dumb. Maintain. Keep your focus. Don't blow it. You have to let the storm pass. It's a storm. Females are facing karma for putting their hands on feminism. And every woman who participated in feminism will not escape this karma. The infamous astrologist has warned of this for 2 years. Wait the storm. Stand down and focus. I'm not telling you to close yourself off from a good woman. I'm not telling you don't get involved with a good woman. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is don't be stupid, acting like you don't know what time it is. Because they're coming. Here they come. The sad stories, the manipulation, the guilt tripping, the threatening, the competition. They're going to want to be quick to get into bed with you. They're going to want to suck your dick. They're going to want to fuck you all night. Yeah. They're going to want fast results, quick commitments, fast commitments. They want you to sign the contract as soon as possible. You see, the infamous astrologist doesn't mind being the bad guy. Because guess what? When you are like me, you get the last laugh, not the first laugh. Understand that. Understand that. Maintain through this weather. There's going to be a sudden recollection of how important fathers and husbands are, of how important men are. There's going to be a sudden realization of the difference between a man and a woman. They will not be able to say anymore, oh, we are equal. They won't be able to do it. It's going to be a sudden realization that God gave you strength in ways that He didn't give her strength. God gave her nurturing power, softness, intuition, sensitivity, deep compassion, empathy, clairvoyance, sensitivity. For a reason. He gave each of us something that He didn't give the other. All of her claims in the name of feminism, she now has to eat her own words. Every bridge that she burned, she has to build it back herself. You tell people to kiss your ass on the way up the ladder, but you always forget what has to happen when you come down that ladder. The African American female is up for transformation. And it is going to have a direct effect on all women of the world. All women of the world are going to change their attitude as they watch her change hers. Maintain. Whatever you're doing to be a man, whatever you're doing to be great, whatever you're doing to stay in shape, whatever you're doing to stay dangerous, whatever you're doing to stay dangerous, whatever you're doing to stay war ready, whatever you're doing to stay successful, stable, capable, prepared. Whatever you're doing to keep your nose clean, to keep your garments white, maintain. Don't blow the focus for a big old ass or a pretty face. Don't be fucking stupid. Come on, get yourself together. You heard? Maintain.